Right, hello everyone, Ian here. How you doing today? Today I am of course back reacting to another YouTube video, and of course it's going to be Chills, and he is right down here. As usual, I have not watched the video. You can see that not long after I did the Nuke's Top 5 live stream, Chills actually uploaded a few hours later. And he actually uploaded his video around about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm really annoyed about that because I wish he uploaded it sooner. So yeah, I know I've just started, but give me a minute. But I'm actually going to get some cookies. I only have one bag left. Update, cookie update. I've only got one bag left, but the date on it ran out yesterday. So I was meant to eat them yesterday, but my mum said maybe I could get away with it if I eat them tonight, and that's what I'm gonna do now. So yeah, I'll be right back. You know, I don't know why they put the label on sideways. It makes it even harder to undo. Yeah, it says here the 23rd of March on these. So like I said, they were meant to be eaten yesterday, but obviously I couldn't, and I had my dinner earlier on, and I felt really full up. I'm out of breath already. Oh no! Coronavirus! I'm short of breath! Nah, I don't have it. Nah, but seriously, it says here the 23rd of March, so yeah. I ain't out of breath, I'm just, I don't exercise, obviously. That's why I'm always doing these live streams. Do I care though? No, I have to be honest with you, not really. So yeah, if you do hear a load of rustling whilst watching the video, live stream, well, video, but watching it through a live stream, then yeah, you know, that's me. I mean, obviously if I had it, me and my family would either be in isolation completely right now, or I'd be at the doctor's or whatever. Well, actually no, I wouldn't be at the doctor's, because I don't think they allow people at the doctor's anymore, because of the coronavirus. In fact, I think all doctors are pretty much shut now, if I remember rightly. I don't fully remember, but anyway, let's shut up and watch this video.
On this list are videos so scary, I think 99% of the people can't handle what you're about to watch. Number 5. There's a paranormal explorer named Ihab Kazmaya who isn't afraid to go to some of the most haunted places across his home country of Jordan. He's been...
Hold on. Your guardian angel can predict the future. I've seen this app before. I don't actually know. You know what, screw it, let's give it a try. Your guardian angel. Wait, what? Free offer ends? Oh god. Do you have to pay? If you have to pay, then there's no way I'm doing this. It's having to put in an email address. Should I trust it? No. 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 I'm not gonna be an idiot. I'm not gonna be an idiot. Screw you. Whatever. And back.
Been at it for over a year now, but if he keeps angering spirits at this rate, ones who are already angry enough to begin with, mind you, then I have a feeling he might not be doing this for much longer. Take this entity recorded in an apartment building on February 25th, 2019 for example. Tell me, is this the howl of an animal, a spirit, or something even worse? Within minutes, it transforms into the low moan of a person.
أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق.
As he's exploring from apartment to apartment, he quickly learns that some rooms are well guarded.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله يلمس.
And some are completely off limits to the living.
يا حي يما حي 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 حي.
Did he reach with his right hand and grab the door himself? It happens too fast to tell, but I don't think so. There's one room in particular that gives me a really terrible feeling. This one. His flashlight chances upon a crouched figure that does not show a single detail even under a direct beam of light. Tell me how I'm able to tell these bars are blue, but unable to see any color behind the figure that's standing directly behind it. When he flashes his light in the same place literally 5 seconds later, it's gone. But out of all of these strange encounters, what scares Ehab the most is this black snake, which he names the video after, and which he is convinced is actually a demon in disguise. I think this little snake, who seems to try and hide under a board from him, is the least of his worries. I mean, this is obviously not a demon in my opinion. I'm guessing this black snake is from cultural mythology. It would be like if we saw a black cat outside of a haunted house.
That's a spider, isn't it?
Speaking of which, that's exactly what happens with this second animal encounter. During another urban exploration adventure in Jordan, this one a year earlier on July 19th, 2018, a creepy cow follows them all around and stares at them from different places despite getting no food or affection the entire time. Ehab has visited enough abandoned houses to suspect that this is a jinn assuming animal form, and I was going to question his judgment until he tells the animal he's not afraid of it, and then this happens.
راح أضلني أحكي معاكي لا بسم الله.
So could it be one of his friends standing behind the door off camera? But don't you think it's weird that the cat doesn't run away after the door slams? It just keeps staring from its perch above. Meanwhile, this area caught my eye. Something peeking from around the corner is darker than the rest of the floor and looks like a head. In fact, it looks very similar to the spirit that was watching them in the last video. Are they one and the same?
Number 4. A while back, Chills covered a video by a YouTuber named Donnie and his shadow.
Yeah, he did cover this one, but who the hell are you, dude? Narrator. Top 5.
I remember once I was
Consider becoming a patron of Top 5. Person problems. The video generated a ton of interest, so we wanted to revisit his channel and analyze some other important videos and information. So a little more about Donnie first. He is an expert ghost hunter who travels all over North America, capturing electronic voice phenomena, or EVPs for short.
Just North America, or all over America? Better yet, all over the world. Obviously not at this point because of the coronavirus. I thought I saw a white line underneath my Livestream thingamajiggy then. No. I'm just imagining it.
AKA the speech patterns of a spirit. His speciality is, get this, angry poltergeist activity. His home in Canada was his one quiet place to retreat from his paranormal adventures, but on November 28, 2019, he revealed to his subscribers that something had followed him home. He first noticed its presence 3 weeks prior, but this was the first day he got strong paranormal evidence on camera. Nobody else is in the house, and he was just in his room, but somehow this happens.
What the?
Skeptics will say that he moved the light himself before recording, and I agree this could be true, but that's not where it ends. His dog Terry is standing on alert, as if someone is at the door.
Who's here?
But no one is there, no one at all, and when Donnie turns around, he finds the kitchen light is swinging with a fresh momentum that, if he were to have done this himself, would not have lasted in the time it takes for him to climb down the stairs and see what's wrong. And when he checks the first light to see if it's slowed down at all, he finds it's still swinging with as much momentum as before, even though it's well over a minute later. There's no time lapse, no editing, no cuts. The basement is where the shadow person resides, so after the incident with his swinging lights, this is the first place Donnie goes to do a little paranormal experiment with the help of his dog. Sure enough, Terry wants nothing to do with the downstairs area. Maybe Donnie should take the hint and stay out of there himself, but giving up is not what a ghost hunter does, especially in their own home. Here's where it gets absolutely strange. Terry looks like he's focused on something, probably this odd shadow bouncing in the corner of Donnie's frame.
Terry, you don't gotta be scared. You come with me. Come on.
As of January 18th, 2020, the ghost became enraged. The light is swinging, same as before, so Donnie knows to expect anything. I agree, this sounded like a washing machine lid, and I was thinking it could have been the automatic unlocking system until I heard these follow-up noises. Less than a minute later, his basement camera picks up this black mass soaring out of the darkness without a sound. I notice that this supposed shadow person leaves a shadow of their own against the wall. A shadow leaving a shadow doesn't make much sense, but a thrown pillow does. Then again, I've never seen an actual shadow person before, so who knows if they have one of their own. We do get to see a better glimpse of the shadow person again on January 1st, 2020, when a black object flies across the doorway and lands with a thud.
I hope my cough wasn't masking over his voice then.
Flies across the doorway and lands with a thud.
Ah, I'm so loud. I need to turn that down. Flipping hell, I'm loud. Jesus Christ, I didn't realise how loud I was. He says something about a loud thud or whatever. Oh God, my voice is playing up now. Let me go back to...
have one of their own. We do get to see a better glimpse of the shadow person again on January 1st, 2020, when a black object flies across the doorway and lands with a thud, loud enough to upset Terry the dog. Donnie points out that the shadow has a shadow of its own and therefore carries physical weight. I see what he means, but at the same time, something's kind of weird about this video. I mean, when you play it in reverse, doesn't it just look like he's throwing a black shirt? But when you pause at 24 seconds, it actually does totally look like a face is looking around the corner, brow, nose, and chin. So you know what? I take back everything I just said. This is almost definitely real, and I think it's best if we just stop talking about it, because I actually might have just creeped myself out.
Number 3, I wanted to share a blog I came across called Extreme Haunting that's run by a woman known only as Carmen. She is a very private person with a job to protect, so all I will say is that Carmen lives way out in the countryside on a farmhouse next to an abandoned barn that's over 100 years old. Now, before I get into what's lurking around her house, freaking out her and her husband, let me first say what makes her website website unique. You see, Carmen is not looking to get famous. She is reaching out to others who are dealing with the emotional shock of actually living in a haunted home and needs support from someone who understands. She knows how hard this is to go through and wants to help others while sharing her own experiences as a way to heal from them. So for 50 years, a man lived here before her, and he was a hoarder. The house was covered in his stuff when Carmen first moved in, including down in the basement, which Carmen says she really hates going down into because of how scary it is, and also just so happens to be where this paranormal activity occurred on June 27th, 2017. This moment comes after 10 minutes of talking to herself about random things. A second, much deeper voice tries to do an imitation of her, except there's just one thing. She says a breathy okay with an exhale at the end, and the ghost tries to do the same thing, but it sounds kind of weird, considering, well, it has no breath. At 50% speed, she sounds normal. The second voice does not. And did you see this? At 8 seconds, a mysterious white light flies across the room, approximately 1 second after the ghost responds. Weird, right? Well, it's about to get even stranger. The ghost is always trying to get attention in various ways, and because it will start acting up if ignored for too long, Carmen tries to take some time out of her day to document what's going on and calm it down. This room full of dolls gets a lot of activity, no surprise if you ask me, and this happened on March 9th of that same year. A white object appears and disappears multiple times by one of the dolls. It's about the size of someone's head and looks kind of like a face. It might just be a reflective surface, but look around. Nothing else is doing that. So what it is, I'm not exactly sure. Carmen doesn't see it, so maybe it's nothing after all. But there's still something in the room with her, as this next part shows.
I don't see anything.
Whoa, I saw something then.
It's the sound of a tin being pushed in, and sure enough, the pop comes from a... It's this...
Oh, I blinked at the same time then. It looked like it looks like everything went dark for a split second and then back to normal. Yeah. Everything went dark for a split second, and then what I'm guessing is that the ghost pushed the thing in, and that's when it went.
It's the sound of a tin being pushed in, and sure enough, the pop comes from a can full of, get this, mineral spirits. I guess this ghost has a sense of humor after all. Or if this is fake, then maybe she squeezed the tin container and waited for it to pop back into place. Either way, I noticed an orb wander to the right and then straight up at two different speeds here at 1 minute and 4 seconds. And you probably missed this, but a shadow passes by exactly 3 seconds before this noise happens. It's actually...
I didn't miss it. I did not miss that. I saw that, and I'm glad I saw that.
actually running towards the direction of the tin. That shadow person sighting was only for a split second. It would be over a year later before Carmen captures this incident, which is much clearer, and occurred on June 3rd, 2018. A tall person doesn't just walk, they literally glide by the door outside of the 100-year-old barn. Carmen said she would post the full video, but it's been a while, and her last upload was 5 months ago, as of the time of this video, so it's probably not coming out anytime soon. I think this shadow person is most likely the man who lived before her, the hoarder who spent most of life collecting things before passing away. His belongings could have carried a charge of paranormal energy that allowed him to remain on Earth well past his physical lifetime. I wish Carmen the best of luck in her haunted home, and if you want more paranormal video evidence, check out her blog dating all the way back to 2013. That's a really long time to keep making videos that get, on average, less than 50 views, so I don't think she's faking it.
Number 2. Paranormal.
Wait a minute, though. Wait just a minute though. What about... Bugger off. What about... What about these people here? This lady here has been doing her one since 2013. But these two blokes here have been doing their one since the 1980s. Look, this one spells out yes. Listen and you'll hear. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. What the f*** is going on? I have to search that up now. Anything is...
Playing football blind.
Anything's possible.
I'm sorry. It's a blind kid trying to play football. I feel bad for laughing, but it's a meme and it's and that's why it's funny. And everything is possible. I thought it was...
Playing football blind.
Anything's possible.
He says anything, not everything. Look, you can see, you'll even see WTF is going on! Oh, I love it, I love it. I feel bad for laughing, but yeah. Anyway, those two blokes have been doing their one for over 30 years, and this lady here has been doing her one since for 8? No, it can't be 8 years, surely. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Nearly 8 years. Or maybe 8 years. I got 7. I got 7, but who knows? She could have done her first video on the 1st of January. That was 8 years ago, obviously, but bloody hell. That's mental to think that 2010 was 10 years ago. 2011 was 9 years ago. 2012 was what was it? 7 years ago? No. 8 years ago. 2013 was nearly 8 years ago, but it's 7 at the minute, at this current point in time. Bloody hell. And we got, and me and my family got our cat Bella in late 2013, maybe early 2014. But the thing is, my cat, she's already 8 years old. Already 8 years old, and we've had her for 7 years. That's mental to think about. We got her off the street when she was only a year old, but we weren't too sure if she belonged to a family member. Hopefully, she didn't belong to a family member who you know, like me, had a kid who had ADHD and autism and all that. That's what my mum first was worried about, but now she just doesn't care. She's just glad she has. She's just glad she has Bella. In fact, I want to see where Bella is right now. I want to give her a cuddle. Come on then. Hello, baby. Oh, let me give you a lovely cuddle. I love you. I love you. Tickle, 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 tickle. She's ticklish on her feet like I am. You're right, baby. Love you. You're 8 years old. You're 8 years old in human years. Did you know that? I love you. She's such a good girl. I bloody love her. I would never get rid of her now. Any more cookies? No. Come here. Come here, baby. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, you can just about see the top of her. Oh, good girl. Hold on, hold on. Lay down then. Aww. What? What's the matter, darling? Aww. I always talk to her like that. I always call her baby and darling and all that. Because she's so cute! Then again, the rest of my family do the same thing, so I shouldn't really be embarrassed. Hey. I love her that much that I could just cry. Like, she's so cute. Come on then. Aww. Lay down then. What? Lay down then. Aww. She's loving this. And I tell you now, I'm not doing this just because I'm live streaming. I always do this to her. To her. Isn't that right, baby? Earlier on, like she was laying across my bed, like fully across my bed, stretched out and everything, and I just kept putting my head on top of her and giving her cuddles and all that, and petting her and everything. Oh, flipping out. Weren't I, Bella? Hey, wasn't I? I was giving you cuddles earlier when you were in here, weren't I? When you were fast asleep, weren't I? Hey? What? Come here then. Aww. I bet you're getting really annoyed now, being like, hurry up, I want to watch the rest of this video. Yes, we will.
Paranologies is a company that's been designing custom paranormal investigation and research equipment for professional ghost hunters for over 10 years. Founded by engineer and paranormal expert Jeremy Jones, Paranologies has fine-tuned its instruments over the course of 700 home investigations throughout the United States, to the point where they have become leaders in the industry. A lot of their early experiments were caught on video on their channel, and let me tell you, they are plenty scary. You can check them out for yourself using the link provided in the description below. But out of all of their uploads, I wanted to focus on 3 videos that make up what I like to call the Eddie series.
This is not juggling. This is called misdirection.
where Jeremy documents the exploits of a doll with red hair, red shoes, and a striped shirt, like a real counterpart to the movie Child's Play. On August 23rd, 2017, Jeremy heard what he describes as plastic moving again, across the floor for the third night in a row. He grabbed his camera and went into the doll room. From behind are voices, followed by a faint ringing noise, like a bell. I think this could be the television from another room, but it surprises him, so maybe it is small noises like he fears. Tell me what you hear, if anything.
Third night in a row. Who was that?
Jeremy, having had much experience dealing with the afterlife, is able to pinpoint the suspect to one doll in particular.
Eddie, if that was you, can you move?
And look at that, an orb moves as soon as Jeremy tells Eddie to move. Shortly after the orb goes by, Eddie confirms he is the most haunted doll of them.
What the f?
Eddie signals his presence by tilting a little without falling over. Jeremy says, for the sake of his sanity, that he forced himself to believe the doll was simply off-balanced. But 8 days later, he got more proof that Eddie was one possessed little piece of plastic. First, the custom spirit box switches to a radio station that just so happens to be playing a song with a special message in it.
Or maybe you're a child trying to play with a doll? You can do it. Eddie!
I mean, it switches over from complete static to the name Eddie at the exact right moment. Did they already have this song queued up, or did this really spontaneously happen, like Jeremy's claiming? Eddie then decides,
There's chocolate in it. Yeah, I thought you wouldn't like it. I was just showing her my cookie in case she did try it, in case she tries to come up and nick it or whatever.
to make sure that Jeremy knows none of this is a coincidence. So not only does its hand move by itself, but moments before, this shadow plays across the reflection of the mirror, blocking out some of the light. Jeremy didn't really mess with Eddie for over a full year after that. I guess he had all the paranormal proof he needed to conclude that Eddie was the real deal and should probably be left undisturbed. But then on September 1st, 2018, he busted out Eddie one more time to help test custom Jacob's ladder. Now, paranormal theory states that a spirit crosses into our world by manipulating currents of electricity. So a Jacob's ladder will increase charged particles called ions into the air, giving the ghost more electricity to work with, amplifying its powers. When placed in front of this device, Eddie seems to be able to move his arm much faster and in a greater radius with more force than he was able to a year before. In other words, he's getting stronger.
Ions. I'm also checking out a new illuminator.
Perhaps there really is something to the Jacob's ladder theory after all, or maybe Jeremy Jones figured out a way to fake this video in a way that it did not detect. I want to know if this really happened, so let's talk about what you think of Paranologies and their old pal Eddie.
Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills, and if you're curious about what missing out, it's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happier person. So if this way, you'll be notified of the new videos I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Number 1. A group of teens step out of a small blue room wearing concerned faces. They all turn around and dare to look back for a second glimpse at what's inside. A creature that I'm not ready to show you yet, but one that is going to creep you out as much as they are in just a moment. Before I show you what they were up against on that day, see if you can help me figure out where this video is from. There's no sound, so I don't know what language they are speaking. One of them is wearing a shirt that says SunGuard, which is a US solar company, but that doesn't necessarily mean this video is from America. This pink ram decorator is our second regional clue. If anyone could tell me what part of the world would hang this up on their door, then it would help us figure out where this creature was spotted. The crowd finally parts wide enough to grant the cameraman a clear shot of the room. A humanoid figure sits with its hands clasped over its chin and lips, considering them with an odd expression of quiet uncertainty, possibly contempt, but maybe it's the camera lens that's causing this effect to occur. But at 2 minutes and 4 seconds, the monster's fingers look exceptionally long and pointy, more like a bat's, and I only count 3 of them on each hand, though the middle and index finger could be close together. together to make them appear as one. I don't know if this used to be one of their friends or not, but it doesn't look like a friend anymore. Some say its pinched bird-like face kind of resembles a Japanese sky god known as Tengu. Tengu are unholy monsters that
What, babe? I'm going for a shower and then I'll make you tea.
Thanks for trying to scare me, you weirdo. You're weird. I'm live streaming, you know. She's abusing me!
What abuse? What's going on?
Huh?
I had word abuse. What's going on?
Mum's hitting me for no reason. She's trying to scare me. She's being wooed.
Stay in there now.
Bye-bye! Did I actually get scared then? I don't feel like I got scared, but let me play it back just in case. Why is this not reversing? No, I didn't get scared. Anyway, let's watch the rest of this.
that take delight in corrupting all that. I don't know if this used to be one of their friends or not, but it doesn't look like a friend anymore. Some say its pinched bird-like face kind of resembles a Japanese sky god known as Tengu. Tengu are unholy monsters that take delight in corrupting all that is good, just the type to ambush a group of innocent friends. And yes, they are known to possess people, so that could be what's happening here. According to legend, these spirits are known to disguise themselves as a priest to fool monks, and this one does seem to be wearing similar dark flowing garbs. This video doesn't exactly look like it's in Japan, but there is another monster, the Tiangu, that has been sighted in China and neighboring areas. This dog-faced demon is even older than the Tengu, and is just as much trouble. And going back to the pink ram on the door, if I had to guess what country this was from, it would probably be Mongolia based on this decoration, a country that does in fact border China. Of course, another explanation is basic stage makeup. It wouldn't be that hard to wear all black makeup and sit in the corner while your friends pretend to act scared. But the point is, this clip is viral with no background information at all. Nobody has claimed it as their own, and nobody has debunked it, which is usually what winds up happening. So I think it has at least a passing chance of being real. If you have any more information about this clip, let us know so we can help explain this unsolved paranormal mystery. Oh, and one more thing about this video that's really creepy. This person in red, seen here trying to keep everyone out, suddenly relaxes his arms and heads straight in. Did he just absent-mindedly ruin the skip by running in like that? Or was he the next in line to get possessed? Oddly enough, everyone turns their heads away when he walks in and don't seem to notice, almost like they're being distracted or mind-controlled themselves. Doorbell cams are meant to see who is at your door, but every once in a
I wonder who's... What are you doing?
I saw first shower.
Okay. I'm just wondering what they're laughing at. I keep looking at the top here. I keep looking at this here by accident. Because I keep thinking that my recording software is still above the thingamajiggy. Well, now it isn't. It's now underneath. But, yeah. Bella. Bella. Hello. She doesn't really go out far, my cat. Well, not my cat, our cat. But, yeah. You're a good girl, aren't you, Bella? Hey? You know what? I feel like watching the top 5 one. Co-narrator by top 5. Let's watch them. Oh, hold on a minute. Nuke's top 5 and then top 5. Well, top 5s.
We have spent hours searching the deepest depths of the internet to bring you 5 disturbing videos. Before we get started, consider becoming a patron of Top 5s for just $2 per month, where you'll get access to all of our documentaries uploaded to Patreon, and all future documentaries we'll be uploading there. We're currently working on some incredible work, and already have 4 documentaries on there available for you. 2 Murderous Minds, 1 documentary on Stanley Kubrick, and World War AI, Rise of the Machines, which is about the possibility of AI taking over the world. For just $2, you can help support our Murderous Minds series and all other documentaries, which we no longer upload to YouTube. So,
Nah, there's no possible... Oh, wait. Stay safe, who... Stay safe, who is she? Who? Who are you talking about? Bella? Bella's my cat. But yeah, I was going to say, there's no possible way for robots and all that and AI to take over the world. I mean, there has to be some way for AI to have some form of human contact and all that, you know? Have you watched the news about coronavirus? God, yeah. 422 people here in the UK have died from it. I mean, 422 people! Like, Jesus Christ, that is a hell of a lot. Anyway, let's shut up about coronavirus and... relax a bit. As in, wait for this thing to come up. There we go, wait for that, move it out of the way. And you know, show you... Show you my cat. Bella! Hello? Aww. Hello, baby. Yep. Look at her in a little ball. Oh, what are you doing? Nice kitty cat. She's 8 years old. She's not really a kit. I wouldn't really call her a kitty cat anymore, but I guess. What? She doesn't like the light. Unlike some cats, they can stand it. Clearly, she can't. She's like squinting and everything at the minute. Oh, bloody hell. You maybe later. Boom. 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 What am I doing? No. Oh, what's the matter? You just tired, eh? I don't blame you. Ah. A Rottweiler. Okay. What happened to him or her then? Did it just die of old age? Did it have cancer, or like, what happened to it? Fun fact, actually, my nan, she used to have a dog that was the exact same age as me, and I mean the exact same age, born the exact same date, year and month as me. My nan's dog was born November 16th, 2001. I was born November 16th, 2001. But the funny thing is, I was meant to be a twin. So what I like to believe is that my nan is at my... So what I like to believe is that my twin was actually my nan's dog. But the weird thing is, my nan's dog actually belonged to someone else, and then he, with my nan's dog, and then my nan's dog ran away, got rescued, and then my Nan Jones, who's sadly dead now, had my nan's dog for 5 years, and then my Nan Jones passed away, and then my nan had and then my nan had the dog for another 5 years before the dog sadly passed away at the age of 13. So yeah, I share a birthday with a dog that I used to know. And like I said, I was meant to be a twin. So again, what I like to believe is that my twin got turned into a dog. I know it sounds stupid, but my twin died before we found out if it was a boy or a girl. So I've never known if I was meant to have a boy twin or a girl twin. So yeah, so that's why I like to believe that my nan's dog was, you know, my twin. Well, my Nan Jones's dog, and then my nan's dog. But yeah, same dog, 3 different families. I mean, my Nan Jones, she was the only one, so I wouldn't really... then again, my nan had her, so my nan had my Nan Jones had my nan, and then, yeah, I wouldn't really say that was family. I don't know. Hair, I think. I actually want to believe that my twin was going to be a boy, since my nan's dog was a boy. So yeah, that's what I'll believe. But yeah, there should be photos on Facebook actually of my nan's dog. I've really started to get into Facebook again. Tony, I'll put Tony. Boom, there it is. This is the dog they currently have. Her name is Holly. And if I go on to photos and videos, no, that's the wrong one. Oh, duh, photos here. Oh, okay. Well, it's only photos of my nan and granddad's current dog then. Okay. So let me go on to my nan's Facebook then. Because she should have a few photos of their old dog, Holly, Foxy. He was called Foxy, actually. Videos. Oh, albums. Okay, here we go. Wait, what? Steph's photos. Let's do that then. The weird thing is, I had some photos. It might be on my sister's account then. Let me check. Oh, there's my Uncle Jeff. There's my Uncle Jeff. That little woman there is my nan, my sister, my granddad, my mum when she was younger, with Lucy when she was younger, Vicky, Jenna, Lucy, James, Demi. Oh, Felix, their deceased cat now. Blair, their current dog. My sister and me when we were a bit younger. Vince and Lucy now, and then, like I said, my Uncle Jeff and my niece Jenna. Bloody hell, that's a throwback. 2019. That's way before my Uncle Jeff died. This photo, I believe. Let's go on to Lucy's photos. And try and find the photos of Foxy. Foxy. I'm just trying to be as quick as possible. My hand is already hurting. There's my nan, who's sadly dead now. It's still hurting about losing my nan. I probably always will, actually, because I knew her. I knew her the longest from my Uncle Jeff and my Auntie Kim. You know what? Forget it for now. He was a brown dog. My nan's dog. He was a brown dog.
Even if you have no interest in watching our documentaries, the Patreon support also massively helps us out on videos like this that do get demonetized, as we do not hold back on video clips, images or information just because they will be un-ad friendly. Now, let's get into this video. Sinking of MV Sewol. April 16th, 2014 has become one of the most painful days in the modern history of South Korea. It was the day of the MV Sewol ferry disaster that took the lives of 304 passengers and crew, including 250 high school students on a school trip. It was a disaster that could and should have been avoided. Here we'll look at the events of that day, along with some harrowing footage taken by passengers as the ferry was sinking. At 8:49 on April 16, 2014, the Sewol ferry, bound for Jeju Island in South Korea, began to sink. On board were 476 passengers and crew, including 325 students on a school trip.
I remember watching this. No!
At 8:52 AM, Choi Duk-ha, a Danwon high school student aboard the ferry, made a call to the National Emergency Service number and reported that the Sewol was capsizing. Shortly after, a single patrol boat arrived to investigate and rescue passengers. Other ships in the area were also notified of the situation, and the passengers were ordered to put on their life jackets but stay in their cabins. At around 9:30 AM, Captain Lee, realizing the dire situation, gave orders to evacuate the ship, although those who stayed in their cabins didn't hear the message and stayed put. Nearby ships were ordered to drop their lifeboats and rescue the passengers who had jumped. At 9:38 AM, all communications were lost and some passengers started jumping overboard. At 9:47, Captain Lee and some of his crew violated maritime law and abandoned ship, leaving his passengers to perish. Captain Lee and his
No.
first and second mates were the first people to be rescued. As the ship listed, many of the passengers followed the first announcement to stay put, even as the water started to engulf them. So whilst the ship's captain was safe aboard a rescue boat, this is what was happening on his ship.
야 근데 지금 밖에 상황 베란다에 나와야 되는 상황을 몰라. 아 이거 왜? 선장은 뭐 알길래? 아니 뭔가 걸린 거 같아. 타이타닉 된거 같아. 전화 안 터진다고? 안 터져. 아 망했다. 마지막 갈 말이 남기고 누가 된 거 같은데. 자 지금 남기려면 녹음해. 녹음이야 지금 동영상이야. 제발 할 수만 있다면 엄마 아빠 사랑해요 씨발. 자 너야 다음에. 이 씨발 존나 빡빡하게 문자 보고 있어. 순영아 성호야.
What is so sad about this footage is the boys seem to be laughing and treating the incident as a joke. They trusted what they were told and stayed in their cabins. They had no idea of the seriousness of the situation. Sadly, all the people featured in this clip died that day. If they had heard the message,
No.
or the crew had stayed on board to direct them, they would have lived. All the passengers who either reached the deck or jumped in the water were rescued. But by the time rescuers arrived to rescue those trapped below deck, they could not get inside due to the listing of the vessel. The Sewol took 2.5 hours to sink, and by 11:03 PM the ship was completely submerged, taking over 300 passengers with it, although it's likely they were already drowned by this stage. The last text message sent by those trapped was at 10:17 AM. The whole sinking played out live on TV as friends and relatives watched hopelessly as the ferry sank. However, in confusing scenes, it was reported that all students had been rescued, and officers working for the educational department sent text messages to the students' parents stating that all students had been rescued. It wasn't until later that the South Korean government corrected this statement, saying 295 passengers remained missing. Eventually it emerged that 304 people had lost their lives, and only 172 had survived, including 22 of the 29 crew. Sadly,
Bloody
Choi
hell.
Duk-ha, who made the first emergency call, was amongst the dead. After the ferry sunk, a group of civilian divers came to assist the Coast Guard's rescue efforts, and for months they retrieved the bodies and belongings of victims. In the aftermath of the sinking, there was outrage. The actions of the captain and crew were criticised, as was the rescue operation. Investigators later concluded that the ferry sank due to a catalogue of errors that could have been avoided. It emerged that the ferry was overloaded and the cargo was improperly secured. The Sewol was carrying 3,608 tons of cargo, more than 3 times the limit. The overload caused the ship to become unstable, and when it made a sudden turn at around 8:48 AM that morning, it caused the unsecured cargo to shift, which in turn caused the ship to list and eventually become unmanageable for the crew. Captain Lee and his first and second mate were arrested and charged with murder. Lee was sentenced to life in prison for the crime of murder through willful negligence. 14 other crew members received up to 12 years in prison. Even though it was a clear failure of the rescue operation, no one responsible was punished except the captain of the Coast Guard boat. 3 other crew members were credited for staying on board the ferry to help passengers escape, and sadly all 3 lost their lives. The tragedy also indirectly took 2 other lives. The former chairman of the company who owned the ship committed suicide before charges could be brought against him. The vice principal of Danwon High School, who was rescued from the stricken ship and who had organised the school trip, couldn't live with the pain of losing his students and hung himself. In his lengthy suicide note, he ended with a request that his body be cremated and the ashes scattered over the site of the accident. On the 22nd of March 2017, the salvage operation began to raise the wreck of sunken Sewol, and the remains of 3 more students were recovered. At the time of this video, the bodies of 5 people have never been recovered, and relatives have long campaigned for them to be found. In the immediate aftermath of the tragedy, a yellow ribbon became a symbol of mourning and remembrance for those lost in the Sewol disaster. However, over the years, the yellow ribbon has evolved as a symbol for protesting against the incompetence of the South Korean government in the handling of not only the disaster, but other political issues. We would also like to point out that the video clips were found on the cell phones belonging to victims when their bodies were recovered after the disaster. The families released the videos because they wanted to show the world the conditions aboard the Sewol as it sank. We hope by raising awareness again of the Sewol disaster, it will help the families in their fight for justice, and the campaign to recover the remains of those still missing. And as always, we're not in any way being disrespectful to those who have lost their lives. Doorbell camera. In recent years, doorbell cameras are not just filming what your delivery man gets up to, but they are also increasingly catching frightening criminal activity and other unexplained incidents as well. In this next footage, filmed in November 2019, a child can be seen approaching a house in Harriet Creek Ranch in Texas. This is what happened.
No, please. Please help.
It's pretty disturbing. The footage was picked up by the True Crime Society, a site worth checking out if you're a true crime fan. We don't really know what to make of it, but if it isn't a hoax, then it's worrying. The footage has also been picked up by Reddit, and some commenters have suggested it's an elaborate fake to rob a house, in a practice where criminals will get a child to scream for help, and when the homeowners come out to investigate, they either attack them or use the distraction to rob the house. Others have likened the child to Serenity Dennard, a 9-year-old girl who ran away from the Black Hills Children's Home in Rapid City on February 3, 2019. We can see the resemblance, although Serenity's family have ruled out that it's her. As far as we know, the doorcam incident has been reported to the police, so hopefully they are on the case. Although at the time of writing this, we could find no further information on the little girl's well-being. As with all unsolved cases we cover, if you have any information, then contact the authorities. Ghost in the road. This next one is just a good old-fashioned apparition caught on dashcam in the middle of the road. These sorts of clips are our favourite and really bring us back to when we first started making videos, and we do plan on doing some good ghost videos soon. This one was caught in the middle of the night in Thailand's Surathini province in 2018. It was so convincing, it even made Thailand's Channel 3 news. Take a look. Now we aren't even sure the driver was even aware of the figure, as he did not appear to make any manoeuvre to avoid hitting it. And similarly, the apparition made no attempt to move. However, we have to admit, it looks more mysterious than others we have seen lately, so we thought we would sneak it into this video. Some believe it's just a reflection from either the car's mirrors or windows. Unfortunately, we have limited information on who the driver was, so if any of you know a bit more about this case, then we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. We'd also love to know whether you think it's a real ghost or not. Now this one is a bit strange, but it worried us enough to include it. It concerns a YouTube channel called Stalked in Smithfield. The channel was created in February 2019, and the channel description is ominous.
Bloody hell. Bloody hell, no. She said all of her devices have been hacked, so maybe the husband could have writ this, pretending to be her.
The first video was uploaded on February 9th, 2019 and is titled January 24, 2019 at 3:26 PM. All it appears to show is footage from a security camera in the hallway of a house, in which the family pets pop in and out of view. Over the next 9 days, between February 9th, 2019 and February 18th, the channel uploaded a total of 39 short videos, all showing security footage from various rooms in the house at various dates and times. Most of the clips are very short, but a couple of them are a little longer, at around 5 minutes. It appears that at least 2 children live in the house along with their mum, and possibly her partner. A dog and a cat also frequently appear in the clips. From the accents, we believe the clips have been filmed in a house in Smithsville, Virginia in the USA, as opposed to Smithfield in London. In one of the first clips, she is talking to the guy about something coming back to kill her.
They're not gonna kill you. Fuck.
There is another clip we also found particularly disturbing. It's titled Shotgun, and the description is Juliana. What happens if you get shot in the eyeball?
What happens when you shot your eyeball?
When I shot my eyeball?
Yeah.
Well, then I would be dead. Why?
To be honest, most of the videos show nothing, with no evidence of a stalker, although they are a little creepy. In a couple of them, you can hear a man and a woman talking, although we can't quite make out what they're saying. Now, we do not know what's going on, even if it's the woman who is uploading these clips, although it does seem obvious she is frightened of someone or something. The last video uploaded to the channel was on February 18th, 2019. This video just focused on a worktop with 3 accessories featuring the phrase "Dream Big." Since then, nothing. If anyone has any idea who this lady is, or what the videos are about, then please let us know in the comments. Bigfoot sighting. We haven't looked at Bigfoot for ages, as we thought we had covered all the great footage out there. However, we're going to look back at an old clip that originally was thought to be a hoax, but now has a question mark over it. If you're a Bigfoot fan, then you've probably already seen the infamous Lumpkin County dashcam Bigfoot video. That was recorded from a Georgia State Police officer's dashcam on the night of May 16th, 2009, along a stretch of road in northern Georgia's Chattahoochee National Park. At the time it went viral, and was one of the first pieces of dashcam to show Bigfoot, and the fact it was captured by a police patrol car just added to its authenticity. Take a look at the original footage.
Alright, hold on a minute. Then why would why would people think at first it would be a hoax when it was caught by a policeman? A real policeman! And people immediately thought, no, that's fake. That's just someone walking in a costume. Why? That's a bit stupid, don't you think? To think something like that? When it isn't, clearly.
What the crap?
What was that?
Did you see that?
Yes.
Holy crap.
What the heck was that?
That was on 2 feet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I thought I was seeing things, actually.
Oh my goodness. Please tell me we got that on audio. Or video.
Probably would have almost had to if that thing's recording.
You see anything down there?
Yes. I don't know what the heck it is. It's something going back. See it?
Where's that?
It's right over there. I don't know what it. Now it's.
Hang on a second. Let me get over here. It's not a person.
Now, although the quality isn't great, you can clearly see what looks like a large bipedal creature running across the deserted highway. And the reaction of the county deputy and his passenger, Mary Scott, just adds to the authenticity. And many thought at last there was video proof that Bigfoot did actually exist. However, in a strange move, it emerged that Lumpkin County Sheriff Stacey Jarrett, who was not in the car, had followed up with the case and began an inquiry into what the creature might be. Stacey reportedly interviewed residents of several homes located close to the area where the sighting occurred, and during his investigation, he allegedly ran into a pair of college students from the Northern Georgia College and State University, who he claims were acting really nervous, but when he questioned them, they denied any knowledge of the incident. However, later in the week, apparently they admitted that one of them had dressed in a gorilla suit and run across the road in front of vehicles on the night in question. At the time, Jarrett told reporters that he even had a photograph of the two boys with the gorilla suit. So that was that. It seemed the case was solved, and as with so many other Bigfoot sightings, it was just a hoax. Yet this was not the end of the case. Bigfoot investigators became convinced something wasn't right about the sheriff's story, so began their own investigations into what they believed was a cover-up. They thought it strange that the pranksters were never identified and over the years have never come forward to admit the hoax. Also, the so-called photograph of the teenagers in the gorilla suit has never surfaced. Then there was the question of why a hoaxer would choose that particular bend on a desolate road in poor visibility, where drivers could hardly be able to see the prank. Also, they estimated the creature ran very fast, about 10 meters in 1.4 seconds, faster than a human in a gorilla suit would be able to run. So to try and get to the bottom of the incident, in 2011, an Animal Planet documentary team, assisted by Matt Moneymaker of Bigfoot Researchers Organization, investigated the sighting. What they found contradicted everything Sheriff Jarrett claimed. Firstly, they discovered that no teenagers had lived in the area during the time the video was shot. It was a fairly desolate spot with few houses close by. They also requested a copy of the photo Jarrett reportedly took of the boys with the gorilla suit, but he refused to provide one. Investigators then questioned other Sheriff's Department personnel, and to their surprise, no one heard of any photographic evidence or reports of teenagers pulling a prank. A member of the BFRO documentary team is quoted as saying, "None of the other sheriffs had heard about this story that Jarrett told to a reporter. It seems he came up with the story to quell any fear that local people might have about a monster in the woods, and to prevent hunters from going to look for one." The team also managed to track down Mary Scott, the civilian who was in the car that night with the police officer. They then went on to recreate the sighting using a man running across the road. They used a car the same size and drove at the same speed. After the mock-up, they compared the footage with the original. They noticed the way the creature ran seemed effortless compared to a human, who was someone lurching across the road. They also estimated the creature had the same length legs as the human. This is important, as typically, Bigfoot is portrayed as having shorter legs and a longer body. So using this assumption, they estimated the creature could have been around 7 feet tall compared to the 6'6" human they used. And although they couldn't completely rule out the creature being a human dressed up, they all seemed pretty convinced it was not. So could this old footage really be the elusive Bigfoot? Was there a cover-up back in 2009, so as not to alarm people?
Why are you saying 2009 when it clearly says here 1980? The 15th of the 5th, 1989.
Or do you think it's all a hoax? What's your thoughts? As always, thanks for watching.
I have just subscribed to them. Let's see if they have any late new videos. When was their newest video actually? 4 days ago. What's this about? Oh, Corona, obviously. What else would it be? Then again, I do sort of believe that it might have been a human dressed up as Bigfoot. But then again, some people don't believe it, some people do. Who knows? Because I sure don't. Yeah, you know what? I don't really know what else to do now, so... Should I just end it here? Should I continue live streaming, or... I don't know. I wish this camera was in 60 FPS. You know, like my computer here. It's all nice and smooth and everything. Not all the time, but every now and then it's smooth. But... Did you hear that? The little noise she made. What's the matter, baby? Aww. Chair. It clearly said 1989, not 2009. Unless I'm completely dumb and blind and it said 09 instead of 89. Let me have a look on the stream. I can't be asked to look back on here. All the time, but every now and then it's smooth.
Would be able to run. So to try and get to the bottom of the incident, in 2011, an Animal Planet documentary team assisted in a comp, and to their surprise, no one...
Yeah, that's either an 8 or a 0, but I think that is a 0, so clearly I'm dumb. Yeah. I had to pay my mum 30 quid just to get an MP3 player. And actually, nothing like this. I mean, if you look inside of it, you can see there's dust and bits all over it, no matter how much I clean it. It's on the inside of the screen, and I know that from previous experience, from doing all this before. I legit love this MP3 player, I really do, but I think I might just keep it as a spare, really, since there's nothing wrong with it, and since I'm very picky about which MP3 player I want, and which I like, and what ones I like, and what I don't like, and what I don't like the look of, and what I like the look of, and... Yeah, let me show you the one that I'm getting. Let me show you the one I currently have at the minute. I currently have... This one here, I believe. Yeah, because this one that I've got has a video on it. Yeah, this is the one that I've currently got. I mean, you can see why I like it because of the way it looks, and oh, that's what it's for. This one that I have did come with a strap, but I thought it was meant for like your wrist or whatever, and I was like, my hands are way too big for this. I didn't know it's meant to go on your bicep or whatever you call it, shoulder bit hit there. I didn't know that. Ah, okay. But yeah, clearly you can see why I like it. What music? My Heart Will Go On. Oh, that's a sad song. Come on. My heart will go on. Design with blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Wait, Bluetooth 4.0? This computer only has USB 3.0. But the little USB stick I have is 4.0. Yes, mate. But yeah, you can clearly see why My heart will go on again. Is that at the same 1 minute 35? Hold on. 1 minute 35? I didn't know that. But yeah, you can see why I clearly like the look of this one because of all of this, actually. The ones I don't really use are the ebook, folder, stopwatch, FM radio, pictures. I have used the recording a small bit, but the main one I use is Bluetooth and obviously music. And video, of course, because I've actually got videos on my MP3 player that do actually play. Like, look, I'll show you. Boom. Exactly the same. It only lasts for 5 seconds because that's how I set it. That's how I set it. They put an SD card in there. Hey, just like I have a black SD card, boy. You can't see it, but oh, waiting for the camera. UFO, yes, you have. But yeah, you can clearly see why. Why is she jogging to a sad song? Look how happy she is. My heart will go on. I'm pretty sure that's a sad song, lady. What is it, 1 minute 35? Yep, roughly about. But yeah. I will show you the one that I'm currently getting. This one right here, $25.98. Like, look at how skinny. Look at that. Look how thin. And, like, it has an on-off button and a volume button, like a phone. This doesn't. You have to, like, you have to hold the button down so that way it comes up with the volume thing. You don't have to with this one. Bluetooth 5.0, and she's going, interesting. That's how big it is. That's all screen. I mean, this is nowhere near as big. Oh, look at that. My fingers cover my entire MP3 player. My fingers wouldn't be able to do that with that one there. Like, gee, I really want this new MP3 player. I tell you now. Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! You can see why I've decided to go this one. It has touch sensitivity. Not like an iPhone where you can touch it. I mean, like, no way that's a finger scanner. No way. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I'm getting this in 2 days on the 26th of March. I'm getting this in 2 days. Hey, it might be all Chinese, but I can set it to English. English. Look, there's video, ebook, music, recording. There's all the exact same stuff here. Like, I'm excited. I'm actually really excited to get it. Like, wow. Actually, not even joking. I'm super excited to get that one now. Yo. I mean, screw this one. I've got all my music on here, so I could just break this now if I want to. But I'm not gonna. I'm actually really excited to get the new MP3 player. That is genuinely so cool looking. Better not be a scam and be like flipping really cheap material and all that. I'd be really peed off if it was really cheap material and everything. But yeah, let's. Clearly it's getting late, so yeah, I'm just gonna end the live stream here. But how long have we been live for? 1 hour and 23 minutes. I don't know why, but right now I feel like
The MPT's downstairs and I've got to put you some tablets out in case you need them.
Okay. But oh, for God's sake, I forgot what I was gonna say now. What did I bloody say? I've completely forgotten now. So yeah, let's. Clearly it's getting late. So yeah, I'm just gonna end the live stream here. But how long have I been live for? 1 hour? Oh, I'm a Dumbo. Yeah, I was gonna say, for some reason I feel like I want to play the Minecraft hide and seek thingamajiggy like I used to. I don't know why. That's what I just feel like at the minute. But yeah, for now I'm gonna end it here. So thank you guys so much for watching this live stream. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Like, comment and subscribe. Make sure to hit the bell icon so you guys get notified on when I upload or live stream. I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Wait a minute. I don't know why, but I always say, give the live stream a thumbs up if you did. Like, comment and subscribe. But giving the live stream a thumbs up and liking is the exact same thing. So I don't know why I always say that. But you know what? Screw it. It rhymes. It fits. I don't care. Bye. Bye, guys.